Every baseball season is full of pennants won and pennants lost, of players in their glory and others in their twilight, of hopeful springs and forgotten failures. But every fan knows that some things belong only to one season. 1991 was Jim Palmer at age 45, giving his Hall of Fame career one last go. It was Bo Jackson shattering his hip and trying to come back to life for the White Sox. It was the blockbuster trade of Joe Carter and Roberto Alomar that promised the Blue Jays a winner. It was Darryl Strawberry's coming to L.A. that was supposed to revive the Dodgers. It was Bonds and Bonilla's contract squabbles that threatened the Pirates' plans to repeat. It was the Minnesota Twins bidding for a first to go from bottom to top. It was the Atlanta Braves trying to follow suit and finding a new leader in Terry Pendleton. These and all of the stories of an extraordinary season make up Baseball 1991, a video yearbook. The Cincinnati Reds ushered in the 1991 season with a ring ceremony befitting the reigning world champions and including the biggest one they could find. But at opening day ceremonies across the country, a more sobering theme was resonating besides baseball.
On behalf of all the men and women who served in Operation Desert Storm, let me thank all of you for all of your fantastic and tremendous support.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, with an extra special ceremonial first pitch, a real Texas hero, the President of the United States.
Yes! Hey, he's got a pretty good arm.
Yeah, he's got a better arm than the President.
Besides paying tribute to the troops, baseball gave a ceremonious welcome to the newest Comiskey Park, which was christened 8 days into the season.
1, 2, 3.
This was the hottest ticket in town, as fans wanted a chance to take part in baseball history.
He's 22 months old, and he already likes baseball. And I want him to say that he was at the first game ever at the new Comiskey Park.
It's sort of like witnessing the birth of a child. It's you're not quite sure what it's going to be, but there's a lot of excitement, and you know there's a great future ahead, and you just hope for the best.
For the White Sox, who won their first 6 games, the best on this day came early when former Governor Jim Thompson tossed out the first pitch. But then Cecil Fielder was just itching to try out the new fences.
That's high in the right field. Sammy goes back. That ball is deep. Sammy on the track, looks up. You can put it on the board. A 3-run homer by Cecil Fielder, and the Tigers lead it 4-0.
4-zip eventually became 16-zip. Not exactly the kind of homecoming Sox fans had in mind. Pirates fans sitting through the chill and rain of a mid-April day at Three Rivers Stadium got to see a game that belonged to the archives. It started as a blowout for the Cubs, who had a 7-2 lead going into the bottom of the 8th. But even so, it was folly to write this one off as the Pirates scored 3 times in the 8th. And then in the 9th,
Chicago holding on tightly to a 1-run lead in the 9th. The 3-1 pitch. Varsho swings a ground ball, base hit into right field. Here comes King. He will score to tie the game. What a clutch base hit by the former Cub.
Present Cub Andre Dawson came up in the 11th with the bases loaded and his team up by a run.
There's a long drive. I don't think anybody can get this one. Holy cow! Dawson hits a grand slam, and the Cubs have put this game away.
But Harry spoke too hastily as the Pirates, down by 5 runs for the second time in the game, rallied in the 11th. And then Don Slaught came up with a chance to win it.
The 1-1 pitch, shot with a fly ball to center field. Going back is Walton, and the ball is over his head. Bonilla scores. Here comes Bonds. He is being waved in as Walton holds on to the ball. The Pirates have done it. Oh, it's Memorial Day all over again.
For the two teams, an 11-run inning. And for the Pirates, shades of things to come. And now, from out of left field, an invisible man. Opening day showers in Atlanta brought out the grounds crew with the tarp, but something was amiss.
There's somebody under the tarp. Look at that. Wow. Here he comes. Not a hair out of place.
Well, the Phillies had so many hairs out of place in April, they were in a tailspin. And no matter what, Nick Leyva and company could not get a handle on things.
A wild pitch up on the screen. In comes O'Brien. That comes under the headline of Major Errant Toss.
Wild pitch. Will move DeCenzo up to third base. Another wild pitch. And that will bring DeCenzo in to score. Wild pitch. There goes DeCenzo to third. The third wild pitch uncorked by Grimsley tonight. Oh, another wild pitch. Oh, a wild pitch on an intentional walk, and the Cubs lead it 2-0.
And as the Phillies' follies continued, in the words of Yogi Berra, it looked like deja vu all over again.
Slammed, and what a grab by Kruk. They got one coming home to score. Is out, and no, he drops the ball. Coming in to score is Langford on the out at second base, and the Cardinals win it. As he bowls over Dalton, who had the out, but then the ball was jarred loose.
The month of May opened with Rickey Henderson about to break the all-time stolen base record. On May 1st, with the record holder himself, Lou Brock, on hand to witness the event at the Oakland Coliseum, Rickey got his chance.
Rickey goes, a pitch taken, he's going to have it. He does! Rickey Henderson, no contest, steals third base, jerks the bag from its moorings, and holds it aloft. Representing number 939.
Bolstered by 3 seasons in which he collected 100 or more steals, Henderson reached the record total in 1,000 fewer games than it took Brock.
Lou Brock was a symbol of great base stealing, but today I'm the greatest of all time. Thank you.
It just so happened that Henderson's accomplishment was one of 2 historic events the same day in May. The night belonged to Nolan Ryans.
And now the only man standing between Nolan Ryan and the 7th career no-hitter is Toronto's second baseman Roberto Alomar. That's it! Number 7 is in the books. The remarkable Ryan has done it again.
In striking out 16 Toronto Blue Jays along the way, the 44-year-old Ryan broke his own record as the oldest pitcher ever to throw a no-hitter. Most remarkable of all was that this no-hitter came 18 years after Ryan's first. What's more, it was his second no-hitter in 2 years. Only this one proved to be even more thrilling.
I'd hoped that I'd get this opportunity in front of my fans here, and I'm just thankful that it worked out. You know, the one thing you don't want to do is disappoint them.
3 weeks later, on May 23rd in Montreal, the Phillies found a little bit of Nolan Ryan and Tommy Green.
Hard ground ball, great grab, Green. It's over. He's pitched a no-hit, no-run game, making the final out himself. Tommy Green, a no-hitter.
Green's gem came in the midst of a Phillies revival. But any hopes they had of contending were dashed when catcher Darren Dalton and star player Lenny Dykstra were badly injured in a car accident. The car belonged to Dykstra, who was charged with drunken driving. Dalton would be sidelined for 6 weeks and Dykstra for 2.5 months. The news was much rosier in Los Angeles when the Dodgers' Orel Hershiser made his long-awaited return.
As expected, a standing ovation for Orel Hershiser at Dodger Stadium.
After missing almost all of last year, Hershiser showed flashes of his old form and by the end of the season would prove pivotal in the pennant race. On the hitting scene, new leadoff man Brett Butler moved into the big picture right from the start and became a driving force behind LA's first-place lead. Meanwhile, Bobby Valentine's Texas Rangers were contributing to baseball's streakiest season by streaking through May.
Pitch to Gonzalez, a high drive, deep left center. Goodbye. Well, the Rangers on a roll that we have not seen for a while. That makes it a 10-5 Ranger lead in a 5-run 11th inning. I'm not laughing at anything particular. It just strikes me as ridiculous how hot this team is.
And Munoz goes down swinging. And baseball's hottest team has made it 14 in a row.
The streak ended, but Julio Franco was just getting warmed up. And though the team would later fade, Franco would go on to hit .341 and win the batting crown. And now from out of left field, a revealing story. Sometimes players leave themselves wide open to wisecracks.
Seen a side of Chris Sabo that you don't ordinarily see, do you?
You know what he's going to do in this at bat. He's obviously going to fly out. Pops up. I lied. Dave Anderson makes the play in foul ground.
Now to take care of a more pressing matter and zip up the lips of the guys in the booth. Now you got it. As for flying things of another sort, these guys refuse to scatter.
Well, we have more pigeons landing in front of Trammell. Now there are 4 of them out there. I figure something must be going on that's good in the whole bunch coming in here.
Here's the 3-2 pitch. And a liner right at Tram. That scatters him. Tram knocked it down but cannot throw.
Unbelievable. You got a ballpark this size, and he lines one right into the pigeons. And away they go.
Matt Sinatra was on third and ready to go. But even with 2 runners on, the Mariners did not like the looks of things.
Now you see the outfield. I mean, any ball hit deeper than where these guys are, it's going to score the guy.
If they can short hop it, the guy at third will have to stay there and tag up or something and not be able to score.
That's in the right field, and it's short hop by Barfield. Here comes the throw home. I can't believe it. He got him. Do you believe that?
Prophetic words from Joe Morgan. A perfect throw from Barfield and disbelief from Sinatra.
Braves baseball first place.
On May 13th at Wrigley Field, Harry, Skip, and Chip Caray made history at a Braves-Cubs game when father, son, and grandson broadcast the same game side by side by side.
There's the bunt. Runner heads for third. He doesn't even look there. Goes to first. He might have had a play at third base. But Bosky went over to
sacrifice out of it, thrown out by Bosky.
Let's see if Bosky slipped when he made this play.
By early June, the Pirates were front and center in the National League East, cruising into the month on a winning streak that grew to 9 games. Barry Bonds emerged from a slow start to gain back his MVP form. Bonds would hit 25 homers and drive in 116 runs. But if he was the heart of Jim Leyland's lineup, Bobby Bonilla was the soul. With his 100 RBIs, the pair was too good to be true. And in June, so were the Pirates. 6 games in front and not a doubt in their minds. The Braves' Otis Nixon was hot to trot in this June game against the Expos.
Runner goes. Strike called, throw. Wrong side of the bag, he's in there. Stolen base for Otis Nixon. The 2-1. Nixon's going. Outside, he steals third unmolested. There he goes. Strike called. Good throw, but he's in there. It's his third stolen base of the day. There he goes. High and tight. Throw to third. He's in there. There he goes. Strike. Safe. He's tied the record, and he's in scoring position with nobody out. There goes Nixon, and he makes it without a throw.
Nixon's 6 stolen bases set a modern National League record. In June, no one could cool down the Minnesota Twins, who fired off a 15-game win streak. Flashing a whole new motto, they were determined to climb from last place to first, no matter the obstacles.
Gilgis, look out. He's down to the 5-yard line. Thought he was going to make it in there for a touchdown, Jim, but Herbeck caught him. Oh, Nelly.
Matt drives it deep to left field on the first pitch, a grand slam. And the Twins lead it 7-0.
Bouncer hit the bag. Holy cow. Oh, man, when you're hot, you're hot.
And the lucky number is 13 for the Twins. 14 in a row for the Minnesota Twins. Chopper gloved by Leas. He throws 15 in a row for the Minnesota Twins.
No one was hotter than Chili Davis, the ex-Angel who not only found new life, but gave the powerful Twins even more pop. A team-best 93 RBIs and 29 homers.
Holy cow! Did he hit that? That was a monster.
Jack Morris and Scott Erickson put up monster numbers in the pitching department, which made a huge turnaround. Morris erased any doubts that he was through, collecting 18 wins, 6 of them in June. Erickson came into June red hot, reeling off 12 straight wins, while the Twins went 22-6 for the month and climbed convincingly into first with the best record in the league. In the East, Toronto's big bopper Joe Carter was spinning a little magic of his own. And on the way to a third straight season of 100 RBIs, Carter blasted his way through June with 11 of his 33 home runs.
Carter hits the ball hard into the left field corner. Gone! Home run, Joe Carter.
Uh-oh, you can say goodbye to that one. Was that a hanger or what?
What a hang it.
Woo!
Full count to Joe Carter. High and deep to left field, and that's gone Carter's second home run. I mean, another upper tank job, another no-doubter.
And no doubt Blue Jay fans were delirious. Toronto entered June in second place and finished it in first. And now, from out of left field, a right fielder hot on the stick. Dave Winfield marked his 18th season by reaching 400 home runs and 1,600 RBIs. And on this June night, he had a chance to hit for the cycle for the first time. But with a triple to go, the Royals' ragged pitching staff ran out of pitchers.
No idea of who's going to come in. Looks like Bill Pacota's on the mound. I don't know if that means he's going to pitch. I think he is. I think Pacota's going to pitch. Look at him laughing out there. We got a utility player on the mound. Look at this. Oh, baby. It's not all that unusual anymore in either league. Although for Pacota, it's unique. His first pitching appearance in the majors, he kind of gives you that, well, I don't know, let's see what happened looks. And Dave Winfield has a smile. All he says is, look, just throw me a triple. Right center. He's running hard. He's thinking triple. He's got a shot. McRae can't make the catch. Winfield around second, going into third. Oh, is he thrilled? It's a triple. Dave Winfield hits for the cycle.
In a season of impressive achievements, Terry Pendleton and the Atlanta Braves were in the midst of a rare one, going from last place to first. Even when things went wrong, they turned out right, like the night Bobby Cox went to talk to his reliever. But then, forgetting the rules, pitching coach Leo Mazzoni also paid a visit.
1 ball, no strikes. That one was over Grissom's head. Olsen to the mound. Leo Mazzoni comes out. Wait a minute. This is the second visit.
Yes, it is. That's it, and they forgot, and that is
there's nobody in
big, gigantic foul up.
There's nobody in the bullpen. This is the second visit by the Braves. Bobby Cox went out, you'll recall, before DeShields hit to talk to what they were going to do there, and now the Braves have no one in the bullpen, and it's a second visit out of the dugout, and that means Juan Berenguer is out of this game.
Yes, he is.
And that's just a mistake.
Because of the blunder, Mike Stanton was forced into the game without getting a chance to warm up in the bullpen.
Well, Mike Stanton can make a lot of people breathe easier if he can get Grissom. Line drive right field. Justice is there. Nothing to this game.
Not for this year's Braves. They won the game, and after facing one batter, Stanton got the win. Now to a June wedding that was supposed to take place at home plate in Tulsa, Oklahoma. But when the Rangers called, the groom had to get married on his way to the major leagues.
Ivan Rodriguez. Well, he just got married this morning.
Yes, he did. It's a great story about him. He's got his honeymoon night tonight as well as his major league debut.
Gore takes off. There's the throw by Rodriguez. Oh, wow.
There's the runner going, and he is a dead duck. Whoa. Well, this Rodriguez can some kind of throw.
Seems the bride isn't the only one who thinks Ivan is quite a catch. Welcome to Canada for the 1991 All-Star Game, held this year in Toronto's Showcase Ballpark, Skydome.
We made it! We finally made it, man. 20 years. 20 years.
Being among the chosen few is an honor for any player, but it's also great fun meeting up with old friends or just mingling with other stars. But this year, the star that outshined every other was Baltimore's Iron Man, Cal Ripken Jr. Day before, he turned the All-Star Home Run Contest into a one-man bash.
Let's go, Rip. One may win it. Let's go. Hey, he won it.
Ripken would hit 34 homers during the season, but none of them could compete with this exhibition. Winning the contest by a landslide, Ripken hit 12 of 22 pitches for home runs. But while Ripken hit the most, Cecil Fielder hit the longest. 2 of Fielder's home runs traveled more than 450 feet, a shower of power that dazzled every other All-Star. When it came time for the All-Star game, the spotlight once again shined down on Cal Ripken, up at the plate with runners on first and second and swinging one hot bat.
Hit it hard somewhere. Come on, Cal.
Let's go, Rip.
Get up! Get up! Get up! Get up! Wings on the run. Forget it. Yeah!
The shortstop, who hasn't missed a regular season game in almost 10 years, didn't miss a chance to lead the Americans to their 4th consecutive win.
This one obviously had the most success and was the most fun. The home running contest, I surprised myself. Coming into the game, swinging the bat well, again, I surprised myself. It was a fun game. I'll always remember this game.
The All-Star break saw the Toronto Blue Jays in front by 5.5. In the West, the champion A's were slipping, and there were a couple of surprises at the top. The Pirates led by 2.5, but that's as close as it would get. And in the West, the Braves were about to make some noise. But before baseball went to the pennant races, it took another midsummer stop to Cooperstown for the annual Hall of Fame induction ceremonies. This year's newest immortals were Gaylord Perry, Rod Carew, and Ferguson Jenkins. As the first Canadian to enter the Hall of Fame, Jenkins won 20 or more games 6 consecutive times and ranks 9th all-time in strikeouts. Carew was a magician with a bat. He hit 300 or better 15 times, became one of 16 players in history to have 3,000 hits, and he retired with a batting average of .328. Gaylord Perry had a style and substance all his own. He threw a no-hitter, won 314 games, and never stayed put.
San Francisco of the National League, 1962 to 1971. Cleveland of the American League, 1972 to 1975. Texas of the American League, 1975, 1977, and again 1980. San Diego of the National League, 1978 to 1979. New York of the American League, 1980. Atlanta of the National League, 1981. Seattle of the American League, 1982-83. And finally, Kansas City of the American League, 1983. The man just could not hold a job.
Bob Malacky, facing the Oakland A's, was part of pitching history on July 13th.
Well, that one was headed for a base hit. That was going up the middle.
Boy, that nailed him, too. He got every bit of it.
Malacky had to leave the game in the 6th and handed off his no-hitter to 3 successors, Mike Flanagan, Mark Williamson, and finally, Greg Olson.
Very strange role to be in. How many guys try to save a no-hitter?
Got to have a little bit of a butterfly going somewhere here.
That's it. Greg Olson completes the relay no-hitter. 4 men.
Montreal's Mark Gardner tried to jump on the no-hit bandwagon in late July in a game against the Los Angeles Dodgers.
A squibbler on the ground. Wallach with a bare hand pickup. What a play! Now trying for third is a Dodger runner. He's out at third. What a double play by the Expo.
Gardner took his no-hitter into the last of the 10th inning when Lenny Harris came up with nobody out.
Tough chance. That'll be the first Dodger hit of the game.
So much for Gardner's no-hitter, and moments later, so much for the victory.
Lines the ball down the left side. Base hit, and the game is over. The Dodgers win 1-0. Oh, there is no justice tonight for Mark Gardner.
2 days later, Montreal teammate Dennis Martinez whipped up an assortment of unhittable stuff against these same Dodgers. In bidding to join a select group of only 11 others, Martinez tried for something even better than a no-hitter.
Dennis Martinez ready, and the 1-2 pitch popped in the air to center field. Going deep on it is Marcus Grissom. He's got it on the track. On this 28th of July, 1991, Dennis Martinez has reached the ultimate, a perfect game against the Los Angeles Dodgers. Nothing scratchy, nothing fluky. It was a masterpiece.
And now, from out of left field, a lullaby. Let it be said that napping on the job is not a private matter, not with the camera keeping a watchful eye.
There's Frank Viola sitting next to the security guard that is fast asleep, but not now. Tony, we caught you. That's Tony.
These days, the camera catches just about anyone doing just about anything.
Well, what do you do when your team is ahead 8-0? There's no more tension, no more drama left in the season. You take up bowling. Craig Biggio. All right.
David Cohn waiting on his teammates. It's a nice touch.
Well, if you're weak defensively, that might get it done.
Well, where was that sucker 20 years ago when I could have used it?
How do you get cream and sugar?
Oh, a manicure between innings. We have a break right here. Let's pause for a manicure.
And this game getting more and more like cricket, where they stop the game to have tea.
Pasquale's still letting Julio know exactly what he thinks about his stance.
That's a pretty good imitation.
There's our cameraman, Chevy. Watch this. Rex Hudler's been known to pull a prank or two, but Chevy's getting them. Those are sunflower seeds.
We have a new cameraman working the low first. It's Charlie Hayes. He's not real comfortable with the zoom yet. Kind of in, backs it up a little bit.
That's Mariano Duncan.
Police walkie-talkie.
Communicating with somebody at headquarters.
That looks like something out of a horror movie.
It's all right for one guy to do that, but when you got guys watching intently, you're in deep trouble.
Look at this. Look at this.
Brace yourselves, folks. Presenting greatest plays from the season. Counting down from number 10.
That one up the middle. Oh, great grab by Grayman. And look at that double play.
Oh, there's a bunt, and it looks good. Aguilera tags him out.
And Bernie lifts one into right center field. A long run from McRae, and the ball slicing away from him. He makes a diving catch. What a catch.
There's a shot right through the legs of Sutcliffe. Great stop by Dunston to get him. Oh, what a play. Ken Griffey on the run at the wall. He leaps and makes a spectacular catch.
A pop-up, Vaughn, a tough play, runs hard into the tarp, went over the tarp. Did he catch it? He did. What a play by Mo Vaughn.
Fly ball down left field line. What a play by Rex Hudler.
Barfield's got a beat on it, and he's got it. Davis tags.
Here comes the throw, and holy cow, what a throw! Unbelievable, Barfield.
Channel said it could be trouble. Bill Ripken with a dive, and he makes an incredible catch. You'll never see a better one than that. Unbelievable.
Mack drives this to deep left center. Devereaux back. Looking. This has a chance, and it is caught by Devereaux.
Those Major League great plays were tough to beat. But now feast your eyes and ears on this almost great play from the minor leagues. That courtesy of Vancouver Canadian Rodney McRae, who landed safe and reasonably sound. Meanwhile, the Phillies, who were down and out in April, got hot in August. Lenny Dykstra was back in the lineup, and he helped get the recycled Phillies so revved up, they fired off the National League's longest winning streak of the season.
Bounces to Hayes. Nice play by Charlie. Comes up with the bounce. Make it 13.
Dykstra had been a big part of the winning streak, but in late August, his all-out style of play cost the Phillies badly.
In the air to deep right center field, and Dykstra, great running catch to end the inning. And I think he hurt himself crashing into the fence. Oh, no.
Dykstra broke his collarbone again and would be gone for the rest of the season. On August 11th, Lance Johnson's glove came to the rescue of teammate Wilson Alvarez, who was trying to make history in his second Major League start.
There's a looper. Lance Johnson coming on. Yes! What a play by Lance Johnson!
Watch the diving backhand stab. Whoa, it doesn't get any better than that.
Johnson's catch saved the no-hitter, and then with 2 outs in the 9th,
yes!
Alvarez no-hitter turned out to be the high point of the White Sox season, pulling them within a game of first, but they would never draw any closer. In fact, they lost 13 of their next 15. The low point coming when Brett Saberhagen turned the no-hit tables on them.
Fans come to their feet as is Big Frank Thomas. 2 out, top of the 9th, a no-hitter at stake. Curveball hit right to Terry Shepard. He's going to get it. Brett Saberhagen pitches the first no-hitter of his career as he shuts out the Sox 7-0.
One of the season's 7 official no-hitters. In August, the Detroit Tigers were in 7th heaven, still in the race and still full of surprises. They were headed for a major league leading 209 homers. 44 of those home runs belonged to Cecil Fielder, whose power was in a class all its own.
Oh, look at this. Forget it. That might be out of the whole stadium.
It may be. It is.
It went out everywhere, right on over the top.
Cecil Fielder with a monstrous home run. What a blast.
For a team that was supposed to go nowhere, Detroit went so far as to tie for first in late August, but just when they thought they were Toronto's only rivals, the Red Sox emerged from an 11.5 game deficit and in 6 weeks pulled within a half game of first. They came together behind Roger Clemens, who won 6 straight decisions and led the Sox back into the race. And now, from out of left field, an old-fashioned story. Hey, what's this pitcher doing with a bat?
And here comes Dave Jeffcoat. Hey, that's how Babe Ruth started out, right? Well, he was a great left-handed pitcher.
Since the Rangers had a 12-1 lead against Milwaukee in the 9th, they did away with the designated hitter and let the pitcher, Mike Jeffcoat, try his hand with a bat.
Fly ball, shallow left field. On comes Vaughn. A dive. He can't get it. In to score Petrelli. On to second with the RBI double by Jeffcoat.
Who needs the DH? Don Mattingly's bosses said he needed a haircut, but after refusing and getting benched, he went back to work.
Don Mattingly. It's a very large ovation from the fans here, and he still has all his hair.
But 2 days later, Mattingly agreed to a trim in what became the most talked about haircut in Major League memory. Now to ballpark sights, like this one at Memorial Stadium. Of course, this kind of sighting is a bit more unusual. Fact is, you never know what you'll see at the ballpark.
High pop, left side foul. Caminetti chasing it. Has he got a play? He runs into the security guard.
We tried letting him swing away. Now he's going to bunt. There, do you have the signs? Mercedes. He's going to try for third, and he will score. No, stay. He's going to try anyway, and he does score.
Ooh, ball thrown away. Recovered by Vaughn. The throw to second base, into left field, and going down to third base, and safely the ball bobbled in left field. He's coming around, and the throw not in time. The Yankees lead it 1-0.
Down to Mattingly. He'll step on the bag, and now they'll have to get the tag, and he's safe. He got in there, but Lewis thinks he's out. Espinosa doesn't realize it, and
double
tags
play,
him out.
folks. Wow.
Broken bat. Look out! The bat hit the ball. The ball had gotten off the glove when the outer half of the bat, which snapped in two, hit the ball a second time.
The hidden ball trick.
These days, you can run, but you can't hide. By September, the battle cry in Atlanta was in full force. The Braves were bona fide contenders, with a first-place tie to prove it. And in the electrifying atmosphere of Fulton County Stadium, fans hailed their Chiefs with a tomahawk chop.
We like the tomahawk thing. I get all psyched up, and our players do too, and the fans have really caught on to that.
And the fans are really stirred up here with the tomahawk chop.
First place with one little throw. Yes!
The Braves are enjoying this. They're in a pennant race.
And the pitch. Swung on, fly ball, deep left field. Nixon back. He's got it. Worker, Wallers, and Pena in a no-hitter.
And here go the Tomahawks, and they won't quit until the Braves leave the field.
Welcome to the 30-30 club again, Ronnie Gant.
Surrounded by a core of bright young stars, Terry Pendleton stabilized the infield, and on the way to a batting title, helped bring the Braves from 9.5 games back at the All-Star break. Much of the young talent centered on Dave Justice, who, despite missing more than 50 games, still hit 27 home runs. With talent like that symbolizing the new Braves, they refused to falter, even when Otis Nixon was suspended in mid-September for violating baseball's drug policy. Nixon had collected a team record 72 steals. But while Atlanta was hanging tough, their chief rivals, the Los Angeles Dodgers, were cool and collected now that Darryl Strawberry was well in the groove. If the Dodgers couldn't outgun the Braves, they could at least keep on winning, and Strawberry was the man to see that they did.
25 homers, 94 RBIs. Uh-oh. They get 26 home runs. Bam!
The Williams shift on Strawberry. 1-1 doing Darryl. That's how you beat it in the gap in right center field. It is way back. Goodbye, home run. The straw is stirring again.
It's all over. The Dodgers have won it. They remain a game ahead of the Braves.
A game ahead with 6 games to go. In the midst of the pennant races, Bo Jackson came back to baseball. After a summer of rigorous rehabilitation on his hip, Bo did what a lot of people said he never would do. And though he was rusty for the first couple of weeks, on September 17th, he finally cut loose. Very loose.
He hammers this one way back. Oh, gone! Home run, Jackson! Yes!
The ball traveled more than 400 feet, but the distance might have said a lot more about how far Bo had come. While fans at Comiskey hailed the return of Bo, Pirates fans at Three Rivers Stadium couldn't wait to celebrate a division title.
Chamberlain at third, 2 down here in the 9th inning. The fans anticipating this final out. The crowd will let you know what happens on this hitter. Struck him out, and the Pittsburgh Pirates are the National League Eastern Division champions for the 2nd year in a row.
The Pirates were never in doubt. They held first place in late April and never let go. As for the quiet and intense Jim Leland, the clinch was a chance to loosen up.
I'll be having a fling with a pretty young thing till early morning. Going tomorrow, I'll wake up with you on my mind.
Meanwhile, in Toronto, the Minnesota Twins pinned their clinching hopes on Jack Morris.
Now 2-2, and a little tapper in front of the mound. And the Minnesota Twins have gone from last to a tie for the American League West.
When the second-place White Sox lost the next day, the Twins were assured of the title.
Way to go. Good job.
And now, from out of left field, turning the power back on. When Jim Gantner came to bat against Oakland in this September game, home run was the last thing on his mind.
Gantner hits one deep to right. Is this going to be his first homer? It is indeed.
And Jim Gantner, after 1,762 at-bats, gets his next home run, and the crowd's going wild.
It was Gantner's first home run since June 14th, 1987. And just to make sure his drought was over, Gantner came up 3 days later against the Angels, and again he cut loose.
Hit well to right. Stevens back at the track, backing up, and it's gone! Jim Gantner with his second home run this week. This is a great game, isn't it?
It's beautiful.
Braves fans might have said the same when Atlanta Falcon Deion Sanders moonlighted as an Atlanta Brave.
After signing back with the Braves for the rest of the season yesterday, today he was named the NFL's Defensive Player of the Week.
And he got a helicopter run to get here. Swung and missed. There he goes. Hey.
Typical day for a ball player. You spend the first 5 or 6 hours at football practice in the NFL, then you take a helicopter to the ballpark and steal your 10th base of the year in the 9th inning of a tie game.
In Montreal, the Expos got their last 3 outs of a game on this triple play. In a season full of the unusual, it seemed as though every time you turned around, someone was turning 3.
Caminetti to third and the second, and it is a triple play.
Runners are breaking. Line drive.
Triple play.
Triple play. A line drive. Triple play.
Hot ground ball right to Martinez. Triple play time. Reynolds to O'Brien. Triple play. My, oh my.
Alfredo with a foul down the right side. Sims moving over, and he'll make the catch. Tagging Sharperson to throw to third. They're going to get him by plenty. Nobody at second. They go there. And a triple play. Hello.
And the pitch on the way to Clark, and there's a ground ball to third. Grabbed by Zeal. Touches third to second. We got a triple play. I don't believe it.
Edgar Martinez. Harold Reynolds for one. Double play to the plate. It's a triple play.
October Madness in Toronto as the Blue Jays made history with the biggest attendance of any team ever. It turned out to be a jackpot day for the Blue Jays, who gave their fans the best reward of all.
Nobody out. Winning run on third. Base hit. Blue Jays win the East. Let the celebration begin.
In a personal triumph, Cardinal reliever Lee Smith wrote his name into the history books.
2 on, 2 out. 9th inning. Lee Smith bears down. Bounce towards the middle of the infield. Ozzie over. He makes the throw. He got him! And Lee Smith has nailed down the save. His 46th of the year. He sets a new National League record.
Meanwhile, in their quest to make history, the Braves were in Cincinnati on October 1st, just 1 game back. But Charlie Leibrandt got rocked for 6 runs in the first inning. Still, the Braves refused to surrender and forged their way back.
High drive center field. Back goes Duncan. Back goes Duncan. Still going at the wall. It's off the wall. Runners all over the place. They're 2 men at third base. Nobody at first. Now a runner tries to score. He is safe at the plate. The other man reaches third. Oh, what a break for Atlanta. What a wacky play. It might be our year, folks. It might be our year. There's a fly ball deep right field. Back goes O'Neill. He's at the wall. Braves lead. Braves lead. Braves lead.
And who better to hold the lead than Atlanta's newfound closer, Alejandro Pena. Strike 3 and 1 game back. The next day, Tom Glavine completed a sweep of the Reds and became the first major leaguer to win 20. The victory gave the Braves a chance to go into a tie. With the pressure on, L.A. took the first 2 games against the Padres. but then ran into a barrage of infield hits that made for a 6-run inning, and the loss brought the Dodgers into the final weekend all tied up. Friday night in Atlanta, the Braves took advantage of 4 Houston errors and won the game. With the win already in the books, this put the pressure on the Dodgers out in San Francisco. There, L.A. ran into trouble, lost to the Giants. And so with a 1-game lead going into Saturday's game, the Braves had a chance to clinch.
And a line drive past the shortstop Cedeno into left field. Lonnie Smith coming around will score as the throw comes in, and it's 1-0 Atlanta. Ron Gant, who hits a drive deep to left field, and it's way back. It's upstairs, home run, Ron Gant.
Inching closer to their impossible dream, the Braves took a 3-run lead into the 9th.
And here's a fly ball hit to right field. This may do it. Justice is back. It's over. The Braves win it.
The Braves had clinched at least a tie for the division title. All that was left now was for the Braves and their fans to see if the Giants could eliminate the Dodgers.
Robbie Thompson gets to it. In Atlanta, let the celebration begin.
David Cone ended the New York Mets season in Philadelphia with an exclamation. In striking out 19 batters, Cone joined Steve Carlton and Tom Seaver in tying the National League record for most strikeouts in a game. The game turned out to be doubly special as Howard Johnson also topped the charts.
Johnson gets an RBI, so he now has the leadership at 117.
Add to the RBI title, a league-leading 38 home runs plus 30 steals puts Hojo in the 30-30 club for the 3rd time. On the season's final day in Baltimore, fans and players said their goodbyes to Memorial Stadium. After 38 years, the Orioles were leaving for a new home, closer to downtown. But this wasn't the only farewell in Baltimore that day.
Thank you, Paul Carey, and hi again, everybody. It's been a wonderful association, Paul, with you, and we're ready to go. The pitch is a strike called on Tyler.
After 31 years, it was farewell to Ernie Harwell.
Lo, the summer is past. The race is over and gone. The leaves are beginning to turn. The time of the song of the birds is gone. And this voice of the Tigers is no longer heard in this land. Thank you very much, and God bless all of you.
Down on the field, another tender goodbye. The American League playoffs opened in Minnesota, where the Twins, cheered on by 55,000 fans in a sea of Homer Hankies, won their 7th straight postseason game at home. But the Metrodome magic wore off in Game 2 as the Twins caved in to Blue Jays pitching. But in Toronto, for Game 3, the Blue Jays lost their momentum.
And he hits a fly ball to right field. Going back is Carter, jumping, and it is off the wall. And Carter, it comes up limping. He jammed his foot, and going into third base with a triple is Shane Mack. And Carter is down.
Joe Carter's injury proved costly, and in the 10th, so did this pinch hit.
Line drive deep to right field. Going back is Ducey. It's gone. A home run for Mike Pagliarulo. And the Twins lead it 3-2.
Behind playoff MVP Kirby Puckett, the Twins did what they do best, hit. They slammed 13 hits to win Game 4, stormed back from 3 runs down in Game 5. Rick Aguilera came on in the 9th and took care of the rest.
Fly ball to left field. Dan Gladden is going back on the track. He makes the catch. And the Minnesota Twins have gone from the cellar to the penthouse in the American League.
The Pirates opened the National League playoffs against Atlanta with a bang thanks to Andy Van Slyke. In Game 2, the Braves got even with Pittsburgh, and when the series moved to Atlanta for Game 3, the Braves pounded the Pirates to take the series lead. Whatever dreams Atlanta had in Game 4 turned sour when Mike LaValliere came up in the 10th.
And a hit, and the Pirates take the lead. LaValliere on 0-2. Drives home a run.
And the Pirates tied the series at 2 wins apiece. Runs were hard to come by in Game 5, a fact David Justice knew all too well.
And that's a hit. And we've got a play. Bonds can throw, but he double bumps. 1-0 Atlanta. But I think he missed third base. He missed third base, and they're going to call him out.
The Pirates went on to win, but they still couldn't muster any offense back home as Steve Avery shut them out in Game 6. Then in the 9th, Atlanta found a hero in Greg Olson.
And that's fair. And Atlanta finally scores. And they take the lead here in the 9th inning.
Atlanta's victory forced Game 7. There, the Braves came out swinging early.
2 out. Into the corner, and is it going to stay fair? It is a home run, and it's 3-0.
And after shutting out the Pirates for the 3rd time in Pittsburgh, the Braves ended their last-to-first journey.
And to the first baseman under. And that's it for Atlanta. They won last night. They won this evening. And John Smoltz has pitched Atlanta into the World Series.
The series opened in Minnesota, and it didn't take long for the Metrodome Hex to start working on the Braves. In the first 2 games, everything went Minnesota's way. Never more so than on this critical play between Ron Gant and Kent Herbeck in Game 2. But when the series moved to Atlanta, the Braves rallied back.
Lemke hits it into left field. Here comes Justice. Save! And Atlanta wins it. That's going to be a winner for Atlanta. The runner tags at third. Here's the throw from Matt. Here's Lemke. He is safe.
In 3 thrilling games, the Braves swept the Twins at home and went back to Minnesota up 3-2. Once back in the Dome, Kirby Puckett almost single-handedly evened the series.
He corks it to left center and chased by Puckett. He caught it! Into deep left center for Mitchell. And we'll see you tomorrow night.
Game 7 turned into an excruciating pitcher's duel in which neither team could score for 9 innings. Then, in the bottom of the 10th, Dan Gladden was on third with 1 out. Gene Larkin up.
The Twins are going to win the World Series. The Twins have won it. It's a base hit. It's a 1-0 10-inning victory.
A fabulous finish to a season of special moments from first to last.
There goes number 400, and he does it at home.
And that is Jeff Reardon's 300th Major League save.
He's got this one. Number 40 for Jose.
Molitor, his 2nd home run, and just the 4th Brewer in history to hit for the cycle.
Drive to left field. This could be that cycle we're talking about. There goes Thompson around first, and he just got himself a unique feat. A single, a double, a triple, and a home run. He hit for the cycle. They ought to save the baseball.
Here's a fella here who can do something that's hard to do with a cycle.
Well, he hits one deep to center. Back is McGriddles. Out of here. A home run for Langford. Wow.
The cycle.
Hello there, everybody. This is Mel Allen. This baseball season was filled with milestones, streaks, drama, and some great fun. Major League Baseball has put all this excitement into one home video, Baseball 1991, a video yearbook. Now you can have all the hard-hitting action of the 1991 season delivered right to your door. To order for $19.95, use your Visa or MasterCard and call this toll-free number. Superstars galore and much more. This video includes the newsmakers, the wall breakers, and the record breakers. Hey, if you love baseball, you'll love Baseball 1991, a video yearbook.
To order your copy for $19.95 plus $4 shipping, call 1-800-524-1122. Use your credit card or send check or money order to this address. Call now, 1-800-524-1122. That's 1-800-524-1122.
Tell me not in mournful numbers, life is but an empty dream. For the soul is dead that slumbers, and things are not what they seem. Lives of great men all remind us we can make our lives sublime, and departing leave behind us footprints on the sands of time. Still achieving, still pursuing, learn to labor and to wait. Know how sublime a thing it is to suffer and be strong, for time will teach thee soon the truth. There are no birds in last year's nest. The 1991 World Series featuring the Atlanta Braves and the Minnesota Twins. Imagine two last-place teams from 1990 in the World Series 1 year later. It had never before happened to one team, much less two. But as baseball looked out on the 1991 World Series, there they were, the teams of Bobby Cox and Tom Kelly. Not one, but two Cinderella stories. There was Lonnie Smith, the veteran, incredibly playing in his fourth World Series with his fourth different team. In contrast, Chuck Knobloch, the Twins' rookie second baseman. Here he was, caught up in the biggest show in baseball in this, his first full season, playing before his brothers and sisters, his mom and his dad. Before game one, in a truly fitting gesture, the first pitch was thrown out by Steve Palermo, the courageous American League umpire who was shot and disabled in July while coming to the aid of a robbery victim. The affection for Palermo from both players and his brethren, at once genuine and touching. There was more goodwill for the Twins' starting pitcher, Jack Morris, a former Tiger who this season came home to roost.
Jack Morris grew up in Highland Park near here, watching Jim Cott, Mudcat Grant, Bob Allison and Harmon Killebrew played for the Twins, and he dreamed of doing the same.
Well, Morris also had a dream first inning in Game 1. 3 up, 3 down. Opposing Morris in this first game was the crafty 12-year veteran Charlie Leibrandt, the only Brave starter with World Series experience. And one of his first tasks, quite appropriately, would be to face a man in the midst of his postseason baptism. But Chuck's sisters weren't just satisfied with a single.
There goes the runner. A strikeout and a runner down to second base with 2 out.
Knobloch was left stranded at second, as both Leibrandt and Morris looked strong the first 2 innings. But in the third, with 2 men out, Dan Gladden, the Twins' left fielder, walked and stole second. And Knobloch got another chance to do his family proud.
Dad says he's toughest when he's got 2 strikes on him.
Leibrandt ahead on the count. Knobloch gets a hit. They've got to play at the plate. 1-0 Minnesota. Knobloch is tagged out.
It's something that a play that he likes to do, you know, especially with 2 outs. Now, 1 out, I might not have done it, but with 2 outs, you know, if I can get in scoring position right away and or make them cut the ball like he did, then that assures us of a run. So, from the Twins' standpoint and from my standpoint, and especially from TK's, that was a good play. He was hoping that I was going to do that.
Thanks to Knobloch, the Twins had that all-important first run and threatened to make some more noise in the 5th. Following a double by Kent Hrbek, Scott Leyes lined a single to put runners on the corners with nobody out. In this precarious situation, the Braves' only solace was in knowing that the batter was a light-hitting Greg Gagne. Certainly not a home run threat, and certainly not thinking that way.
We'll try to, you know, be a hero or anything, just try to hit the ball in between first and second, and wasn't really thinking, you know, I want the fastball and just the break and stuff, but I just reacted to the pitch that was in, and I ended up hitting out of the park.
Pretty well hit. This ball is going to go.
The Twins now led 4-0, but the inning wasn't over. And with Jim Clancy now on the mound, they loaded him up.
Now we have Gladden at third. Knobloch at second base. Chili Davis at first. And Brian Harper up into left field. And Hunter with an excellent play. A late tag by the runner. And he is out to end the inning as Olsen held the ball. So we end up with a 3-run 5th for Minnesota.
The first in a series filled with plays at the plate had failed for Minnesota, but they were now leading 4-0, and Morris appeared in total command. But in the 6th, the Braves began to feel their oats. First, a Jeff Treadway single, then a shot up the middle by Dave Justice. And with runners now on second and first, the Braves had a legitimate threat with Ron Gant at the plate.
And that ball is a base hit and past Gladden, and Atlanta gets a run.
Just like that, the Braves had brought the tying run to the plate.
That's Sid Graham. He's played for Pittsburgh. Come on, strike him out. Yes.
0 for 2, twice flying to left. He could make it a one-run game or tie it.
A Kent Herbeck home run in the 6th gave the Twins a 5-1 lead. And as the game now moved into the 8th, a precautionary call went out to the bullpen in the event that Morris was beginning to tire. After all, the Twins' pen had not allowed an earned run in the championship series. And when Morris walked his first 2 batters, it was time for the hometown fans to pay homage to their hometown hero. But with 2 men on and nobody out, the Braves still held the cards. They trailed by 4, but had the dangerous Terry Pendleton at the plate. It was the most crucial situation for Mark Guthrie. And it was time for our old friend Knobloch to re-enter the picture.
Braves trailing 5-1, and a hard hit ball to Knobloch. They get 1, 2.
The Braves did score a run in the inning, but it could have been much worse for the Twins. And with a 5-2 lead in the ninth, Minnesota felt quite secure in having Rick Aguilera on the mound. He of 42 saves during the regular season.
That ball into left for Gladden. And the Twins have won the first game 5-2.
The Twins had gained the edge, thanks in part to a rookie who rose to the occasion in his first World Series game.
Nice button. Go on with this button.
Where's that?
You don't like our button? Really? It's a bootleg picture.
Where's that picture from?
You don't remember taking it? Congratulations.
On what?
Good game.
Tomorrow's a new day. I'll see you guys later.
All right, way to go.
A new cast of characters took center stage for Game 2. 16-game winner Kevin Tapani would start for the Twins. And Tom Glavine, one of the 2 20-game winners in the National League, was set to go for the Braves. After Atlanta failed in the top of the first, the Twins were recipients of some injustice in the outfield.
On the first one. Lemke going out, struggling to find it. Here comes the right fielder. It drops.
We talked about the roof before this series began, but I do not believe either player had a problem with the roof. I think this is just plain miscommunication. That is David Justice's ball all the way.
Braves manager Bobby Cox then saw his pitcher dig an even deeper hole with Knobloch at the plate.
2 on, nobody out. An error and a walk.
One thing that Glavine has going for him in a situation like this, Puckett led all major leaguers in hitting into double play ball 27 times.
a lot.
Glavine throws a lot of sinkers and a lot of ground balls. He hopes it's at somebody.
Runners are going. And a ground ball to Pennant. Steps on third, bounces it to first, 2 out.
We thought we were out of the inning. I said, golly, we picked him up real good here. Terry made a great play on a hit and run off of Puckett's bat, but we forgot about Chili Davis.
After a decade in the major leagues, this was the first World Series for Davis. And as he soon discovered, good things come to those who wait.
Come on, Chili.
Chili Davis launches one. 2-0, Minnesota.
People just went berserk. They knew it was gone. I knew I hit the ball well. I think Glavine knew I hit it well. And when I got to first base and Brian Hunter ran into the fence in left field and the ball went over the fence, it was so loud in there. I never experienced anything like that. And the curtain call was something I'd never experienced before. It was exceptional. I felt chills going through me. It was a beautiful feeling, something you look forward to, you expect in a World Series game.
But Tapani gave up a run in the second on a sacrifice fly, and a lonesome battle cry began. And with 1 out in the third, Lonnie Smith sought to answer the cry with some action.
Off the glove of Layers. Probably an error, and Lonnie Smith runs the bases with 1 out.
But then came one of the more controversial plays in the entire series. Ron Gant was at the plate, and a single would put the runners at the corners with 2 men out. Or so it seemed.
Smith is going. And a hit to left by Gant. And Lonnie's trying. They're going to get him perhaps. He's safe. And now Gant gets back to first, and he's out.
Jack, it looked like Herbeck pulled him off the bag. I think the Braves have a legitimate complaint right here.
That was a close play. He was safe when he got back to the base, and he would have slid, he would have been safe and stayed on the base, and everything would have been fine. But the problem was he didn't slide. He came back in and to first base and ran into me and was falling over, and I kept the tag on him. His momentum carried him off the bag, and I ended up with his leg in my arm, like everybody's talking like I tried to pull him off the bag, but he was just coming off the bag anyway, so I just kind of more or less caught him coming off the bag.
I got there in time to, to stay on the bag and to, I was going to be safe, and I was going to plant my left foot to, to make sure that I stayed on the bag, and by that time Herbeck grabbed my leg, and he kind of fell backwards and pulled me with him, so the umpire was right there, and he called me out. I couldn't really believe it, and I'm sure no one else could, but he saw it as being out.
You have to get on the bag and be under control. And in my judgment, he was not under control once he got onto the bag. Everybody watches the feet on the replays, but if you watch his upper body, he's falling over. And in my judgment, his momentum after he hit the bag carried him on off.
The Braves did tie the game with a sacrifice fly in the fifth, and the anticipated pitchers' duel was on. The game remained tied at 2, but in the top of the 8th, Atlanta had an opportunity to take the lead. With runners on first and third and 1 out, Gant needed only to hit the ball anywhere, but straight up.
Pops it up, foul. And there is a play.
Now with 2 out, Justice was looking to atone for his first inning faux pas.
Come on, Justice. You gotta get it out, buddy. 2 outs.
This is the most noise from this crowd all night. Into left for Gladden. He's right there. Inning's over. What a chance the Braves had, and they let it get away. They've left 5, and we're still tied in the bottom of the 8th.
Back to Glavine, who earlier had retired 15 Twins in a row. But now in the 8th, he was facing the pride of Mamaroneck, New York, Scott Leas.
And he corks one into left field. Back at the track is Hunter, and it's gone!
Trailing now 3-2 in the ninth, the Braves were headed for a 2-0 deficit. For with Aguilera on the mound, absolutely no one was whistling Dixie. The Twins had swept the first 2 games at home, but the Braves weren't about to concede.
Well, if they're going to win it, they'll have to come back here and do it. Say that much.
Fortunately, we're going home, and it's nice to be here in Minnesota, my hometown, but I'm ready to leave.
But not even the Braves were prepared for what greeted them in Atlanta, where the long wait for a World Series was over. Everyone, it seemed, was enraptured by the Braves.
It's the chopping tour of 91. Tomahawk and sure is fun.
The finishing touches were in place in a city overcome with excitement, which, as Game 3 approached, grew deafening. But not everyone was privy to Southern hospitality. As the fans let Herbeck know, they would have called that play at first quite differently.
I love it! I love it!
But they left no doubt about how they felt toward their Braves, especially their newly crowned savior, Steve Avery.
And of course, the big question is, can Avery do it again? He won 18 games during the regular season. Then he beat the Pirates. And now, in order for the Braves to be in any sort of a comfortable position, he's going to have to beat these Twins. Gladden hits it into right center, and Gantz on the move. The ball gets between them. That ball should have been caught. And Gladden's going to end up at third base. They hold him there. Well, that's the way the game started the other evening when the Twins were batting first inning Game 2.
And once again, the Twins capitalized.
3-base hit for Gladden is his first hit, and this will put Minnesota on top. Knobloch sacrifice fly, and it is 1-0 in favor of the visiting Twins. And some people thought that Steve Avery just might shut these Twins down altogether.
It was the first run in 16 1/3 postseason innings allowed by Avery, but he escaped further damage, and the Braves looked to get even. In the second, Twin starter Scott Erickson found himself with 2 on and 2 out.
Olson walked. He's at second. Mark Lemke got the first Atlanta hit. He's at first. Breaking ball, base hit. We are tied, and the runners end up at second and third.
And so it remained tied at 1 apiece into the fourth, when Justice once again got the chance to redeem himself for his first inning miscue and showed that the bat was indeed mightier than the glove.
Hit it good.
On to the bottom of the fifth, where Lonnie Smith's image was further enhanced with one man out, and the base is empty.
All around to the top of the batting order. Lonnie Smith has struck out and fouled out to right. Lonnie Smith hits it well. There's another run for Atlanta.
The Braves scored still another run in the inning and held a commanding 4-1 lead into the seventh. Avery appeared in complete control, but a chink was etched in his armor by the heretofore silent Kirby Puckett.
Hit by Puckett, and that one's carrying a long way, and Mitchell can't do anything about that one. And that makes it 4-2 as Puckett gets his first hit of this World Series. And the Twins fans have an opportunity to root here in the seventh inning.
And that's the salute from the Metrodome in Minnesota.
But back in Atlanta, there was a bit more trepidation as Minnesota began to call on a bevy of pinch hitters to open the eighth. They couldn't help but see Alejandro Pena up in the bullpen in case Avery further faltered. For now, however, with a 4-2 lead, the game was Avery's, and the pinch hitter, Brian Harper.
Pendleton scoops it, grabs it, throws it, and safe at first. We'll see how they roll that one, and Harper gets down to first base nonetheless.
Because Terry Pendleton is such a good fielder, they're going to give him an error. Sometimes you're penalized by your ability.
That brings Bobby Cox out of the dugout. He didn't like the sixth inning or the seventh inning. The Puckett home run. Now the error, and he lifts Steve Avery. Alejandro Pena will come in and listen to this crowd.
Your attention, please, for Minnesota. 11 for 11 in save opportunities during the season. 3 saves during the NLCS. Plus a 2-0 record. And Chili Davis, when they faced each other in the National League, was 3 for 10 against Pena.
Burn him, Jalapeno, burn him! Come on!
Top of the eighth inning. Tying run at the plate. Into left field. Mitchell back. How far is this going? We are tied on a pinch home run by Chili Davis. An error and a home run and a 4-4 game.
You'll be burning us out.
But the danger hadn't passed, for with just one out, the Twins put runners on the corner. But Olsen staved off further damage with a scoop.
Okay, Pena, you're smoking now, man. Let's go. Let's go, Pena.
In the dirt, and Olsen saved a run.
Lucky Greg Olsen's good.
That was a great catch, wasn't it?
Yeah.
What'll it be? Will Puckett snap the tie? Can Pena get the strikeout or the double play? Got him! Big strikeout, 2 out. Well, it's a battle between Pena and Shane Mack. Shane Mack wants to do his damage. Pena struggling to get out of the eighth. Herbeck running again, and it struck him out.
Pena had survived, and though the Braves had squandered the 4-1 lead, they were fortunate to be tied. The tension became unbearable as the game moved into extra innings. Then in the 12th, a spark by Gladden.
A
far are we going to go? Gladden hits it hard to right for his third hit of the evening. Gladden singles with one out here in the 12th. And the Twins would like to snap the tie here in the 12th inning and then get Aguilera on his feet in the bullpen. The batter, Knobloch, he drove in a run with a fly ball in the first. And he has a hit, 1 for 4. Good hit and run combo up there. Double play ball. Whoa, right through Lemke. And it's first and third with only one out for the Twins.
Yeah, that's a double play ball that gets you out of the inning, and it looked like what Lemke did. He looked up before he had the ball. Clearly an error.
Up next, Herbeck, followed by Puckett. A breakfast of champions better left untouched. So Atlanta counted with Kent Mercker, and an incredible scenario unfolded.
And Rick Aguilera of the Twins is now up. Tom Kelly sniffing a lead here. Hey, we talked earlier about Rick Aguilera and a batter. Wouldn't it be something for Rick Aguilera to pinch hit for Mark Guthrie, who is in the 5-hole now, remember. So if they get Herbeck, you might see a walk to Kirby Puckett to load the bases, even if runners are at first and third. Just thinking ahead.
Tim McCarver's prescience proved perfect as Mercker met Herbeck head on.
First and third, the runner going again. Strike 3 called, and Knobloch steals second.
And that set up a World Series first since the designated hitter debuted in 1973. A shining pinch hit moment for a pitcher at the plate.
Puckett is up, and Tim McCarver right smack on the money with regard to what's going to happen.
And Aguilera is going to be the pinch hitter. What about this? Now, you know, this is unbelievable.
Top of the 12th, the bases were loaded, 2 men out, and a pretty good hitting pitcher at the plate.
Here comes Aguilera. This pitcher has a .203 lifetime batting average. A single, an error, and a walk have loaded them up. Braves should have been out of the inning long ago. Aguilera hits it into center field for Gant. We're still tied. 3 left for the Twins, who have stranded 10 and will send Rick Aguilera to the hill.
It was getting late. Every Twins player had been used except Morris and Tapani. Kelly was getting desperate.
We were probably going to play one more inning with Aguilera on the mound, and then I wasn't going to kill him, and I wasn't going to do that at all. So I was going to just put Dan Gladden out there and let him wing it up there, and Aguilera would play the outfield, and we'd go from there.
There began with 1 out in the bottom of the 12th when Justice lined a single into right. The home team fans began to stir. Cox, too, was running out of options and elected to play it aggressive.
7th pitcher of the night for the Twins is out on the hill. Runner going. Ball 1 and a stolen base, and the winning run's it in scoring position.
After Olson walked, Lemke, who was almost the GOAT with his error in the top of the inning, came to the plate defiant, determined to make amends.
Lemke hits it into left field. Here comes Justice. Save! And Atlanta wins it.
The throw by Gladden, too late, and the Braves win their first World Series game ever. The little men have become the big men in this series.
And so the Braves had made their mark by winning their first World Series game. And a southern city so used to an early winter found itself in the throes of hysteria. Game 4 marked the return of Morris to the mound, looking to extend his success. His counterpart, John Smoltz, who is a boy growing up in Michigan, idolized Morris. And for extra incentive, he had his dad on hand, watching his boy play ball.
Come on, Johnny, babe. Hey, thanks, eh? Keep me calm. All right, let's do it. Get that first one.
But 'twas the Twins who got the first one in the second inning, as Brian Harper doubled, and with one out, Mike Pagliarulo proved once again that you don't have to hit them hard, just hit them where they ain't.
Into short left, Belliard can't get it, and the run is going to be in time, and it's 1-0 Twins. A little blooper into left.
What a bleeder. What a fungo hit. Just a little fungo hit. Oh well, that's a cheapie. All right, suck it up, John. Got a cheapie. That's all right, baby. When they score first, we win. Come on now.
With Pagliarulo now on second, it was time to put idolatry on the back burner.
This has got to be a thrill, man. Face your hero. Come on, Johnny, get Jack right away. Oh, man, this is great. This is great. Get that Detroit Tiger, babe. Come on. Get him. This is it, Johnny, baby. Come on now. Yeah! Way to go, baby! All right, let's get that run back. Come on, Braves.
As the game moved into the third, the Atlanta fans grew restless.
Come on, hit the ball.
So, with 2 men out, Terry Pendleton responded.
Pendleton hits it very well, and it carries out into right center. Tied.
But in the top of the fourth, Minnesota mustered a rally of sorts, putting runners on the corners with 1 out.
Runner at third is Shane Mack. Reached out a fielder's choice. Pagliarulo's 2 for 2. 1 out. The batter, Gagné.
With the pitcher coming up next, a squeeze situation right here.
That was the first thing from my mind, and my game plan was just to try to strike him out because the pitcher was coming up next.
Greg Gagné was having trouble with the slider hitting, so we went with the slider, and it happened to be low and away, and that was a real tough pitch to bunt.
Squeeze play, and they missed it. They've got Mack, and he's out. The other runner down to second.
Yeah! Way to go, Greg! Way to go, Gregory!
The unsuccessful suicide gave the Braves new life, but they were once again done in by a fundamental mistake in the fifth. With Lonnie Smith on second and nobody out.
Pendleton drills one to deep center. Lonnie Smith is going to head for third. Nobody out. They're sending him home. A late throw by Knobloch and out. Harper held the ball. Pendleton ends up at third.
That was a terrible base running play by Lonnie Smith. You don't tag up on a ball hit deep over the outfielder's head. You go a third of the way.
Well, my first instinct was to go a third of the way to halfway, just in case the ball fell in. I took a look at the ball as well as Kirby Puckett, the center fielder, and it appeared that he was going to catch the ball.
It looked like Puck was going to catch the ball, and I'm sure that's what Lonnie Smith thought, that he was going to catch the ball, so he went back to tag up, which is a good base running play to get to third base with 1 out, but all of a sudden the ball just kind of took off and went over Puck's head.
And once I saw that he didn't catch it, I tried to turn on whatever speed I had left and had hopes of scoring on the play.
I knew it was going to be close. I was concentrating, trying to get the ball, and as soon as I got the ball into my glove and also in my bare hand and to hold onto it real tight, I looked up and Lonnie Smith was right in my face.
So I knew I had no shot at going under him, and there was no chance of going around him. So my only recourse was to try to go through him.
He just nailed me. I mean, it was just a perfect hit.
I don't particularly like to see that type of play, only when it's absolutely necessary.
When the dust had settled, Pendleton was on third, but the Braves ran into Harper once again.
Here comes the runner trying to score. He is out. Pendleton is tagged out on another great play by Brian Harper.
What are we doing? That ball was not anywhere.
Into the 7th round, where with 1 out, Paliarulo looked for the knockout.
Strike him out, son. Strike him out. Strike him out, Johnny. Right here. Pull the trigger on it. Pull the trigger on it. It's gone. It's out of here. Knew it. Tough pitch, son. You had him too, baby. Just suck it up now. Suck it up. Walk off. We got it. We're going to come back. It's all right, Johnny. Come on, babe. Dig deep, baby. Dig deep.
The hope and prophecy of John's father did not look like it would be realized in the bottom of the 7th. For even though the Braves had tipped their hats to a rally, it was Twins reliever Carl Willis who was turning the Atlanta hitters inside out.
All right, we can do it. 2 outs. We can do it. We can come back.
Left fielder Lonnie Smith.
Come on, Lonnie!
But with 2 out, Lonnie showed there was still some chop left in the wood.
Here's Lonnie hitting one a ton to tie it.
Lonnie, yeah! Yeah!
The sheer beauty of baseball was almost overwhelming. Game 4, the World Series. Game tied 2-2. A rally would cap the night off quite nicely for the Braves, but Guthrie had already retired Olsen. It was up to Lemke once again to provide the heroic.
Stepping into the box, I was thinking about getting on base. First pitch he threw me, I swung at, and it's a good pitch to hit.
One deep into left center field. That's being chased at the wall and up again. He's going to end up at third with 1 out.
I said I'm going to take a chance here and I'm going to make them throw me out, you know, and those are the type of things you got to do. I think sometimes you got to let it go and play aggressive, and I felt in that situation, you know, I'll try to capitalize on something.
After walking Blauser, Kelly elected to rest his fortunes on bedrock.
And now Kelly's going to come out and make the move and bring Bedrosian in.
Bedrosian will pitch to either Cabrera or another pinch hitter. Well, now Bedrosian is in the game. Tight spot for the Twins.
Bobby Cox made the switch to Jerry Willard, who is the pinch hitter with Mark Lemke at third base, Jeff Blauser at first base, and only 1 out. And a long fly ball, the game is over. See how shallow the outfielders are?
This fella has played at Bend, the Peninsula, Reading, Oklahoma, Charleston, Cleveland, Maine, Tacoma, Birmingham, Vancouver, the White Sox, and he's had only 14 at-bats this year. That's going to be a winner for Atlanta. The runner tags at third. Here's the throw from Matt. Here's Lemke. He is out. Safe. They called him safe. And Atlanta wins. They were tied 2 games apiece. They said Harper did not tag him. Brian Harper can't believe it.
You've got to make the tag with the ball. right there. See, he's got the ball in his hand, and the glove, he never made contact with the runner with the glove.
Another gut-wrenching game at Atlanta Fulton County Stadium, and another unlikely hero in Jerry Willard. You couldn't blame the fans for being a bit off-kilter as the final game in Atlanta got underway. The Braves called on Tom Glavine to pitch the pivotal fifth game, and with a sense of deja vu, he found himself once again facing Kevin Tapani, who had pitched 8 solid innings to win Game 2. In the early going of this game, Tapani and Glavine once again dominated. But in the bottom of the fourth, Gant broke through Tapani's veneer and set the stage for some Southern justice. But the inning wasn't over, for with Olson on first, Lemke had another bout with Clout.
Now Lemke drills one into right center field. Did he do it? Off the wall. The run will score. Lemke going for third. He makes it. Who is this little man? What a perfect time he picked to get hot.
Kelly's heroes were being done in by the Mighty Mites.
There's a base hit in the left by Belliard. And that drives home Lemke. Double for Raphael, and it's 4-0 Atlanta.
The Twins could sense this one getting out of hand. As the Braves scored another in the fifth, Kelly dug deeper into his bullpen in the seventh, calling on David West. But all he did was put a Mr. October postscript on the storied World Series career of Smith.
Ernie hits it high, hits it deep. There she goes.
That's the first since Reggie Jackson did it back in 1977.
Lonnie's third straight home run game spurred the Braves to break out the bats.
Another hit. Canada will score. Gant to third. 7-3. In for the play at the plate and a hit by Hunter. And another run for Atlanta. 8-3. Triple.
Lemke's second triple of the game and his third in the series turned even the neon lights out on the Twins. And as the only blowout of the series drew to a close, Atlanta got what it wanted, a sweep dream that came true. Three straight in Atlanta wasn't the end of the series, but it wasn't peanuts either. They needed but one more to win.
We intended to sweep. That's what we came here to do, and that's what we did.
With a theatrical flourish, the Braves were now 1 win away from the title. But they had to return to the Dome, where the Twins were simply perfect. The Homer Hankies were out in force for Game 6, and the revitalized Twins were out to stop the Braves' momentum. But which Erickson would show up? The 20-game winner during the regular season, or the somewhat shaky postseason pitcher? And what about Avery? Would he start another scoreless streak, or was he ready to wilt from the pressure in the inning? Well, in the bottom of the first, Knobloch offered up an indication.
Base hit for Knobloch.
Knobloch now 7 for 18 in the World Series.
The batter is Kirby Puckett. He's been cold, cold, cold. 3 out of 18. That's fair. He's going to score. Puckett for third.
Avery got the second out, holding Puckett at third, but somebody was due.
Well, of all people, who's up there now for the Twins? Shane Mack. 0 for 15 in the series. 0 for his last 2 at-bats against Toronto in the championship series, so he's 0 for his last 17. There's a hit. 2-0, Minnesota.
The Twins carried that 2-0 lead into the third, where with 1 man on, their defense painted one of those memorable World Series pictures that stand the test of time.
He corks it to left center and chased by Puckett. He caught it.
Brilliant play by Kirby Puckett. Watch him time the jump.
But though Kirby was brilliant, the Braves were resilient. And in the top of the 5th, they sought to come back. Rafael Belliard opened with a single. And with Lonnie Smith at the plate, the Twins made a rare mistake.
Double play ball, maybe. Yep. Only one, as Knobloch couldn't get the ball out of the glove.
A smattering of Braves fans then urged Pendleton to make the Twins pay.
Puckett chases it to the track. It might go. We're tied. Pendleton's second home run of the series ties it in the 5th. That's what happens when you fail to make the double play.
The scale for Pendleton was measured in feet, but the scale for Justice in inches.
Here's a smash by Justice. Are the Braves going to take the lead? Foul. Everybody off the Atlanta bench. Justice thought it was a home run, and the right field umpire made the call. No doubt it was far enough.
Oh, yeah. And it was a tough call for Rick Reed, the right field umpire.
The Twins eventually reclaimed the lead on Puckett's sacrifice fly, but this wasn't one of the all-time great World Series for nothing. And in the 7th, the Braves got to Erickson. Lemke began the inning with his 9th hit of the series, and the decibels in the Dome decreased. Kelly went to the bullpen, but Erickson had answered any questions with 6 gutsy innings. Now it was Guthrie's turn to stem the tide. But a wild pitch and a walk had opened up a can of worms.
Single and a walk in the inning. Lemke down at second. Lonnie Smith at first. 1 out. 1-run lead for the Twins in the 7th, and Pendleton, who's had 2 hits, is up. And it's up to Knobloch. Bases loaded. And an infield hit for Pendleton, his 3rd of the night, loads the bases for the big Atlanta hitter, Ron Gant.
Out went Guthrie. In came Willis.
The World Series might be on the line right here. To deep short. Tying run scores. Lemke crosses the plate to make it 3-3.
Now 2 are out, but a runner stood ominously on third. It was indeed hanky-biting time as Justice sought to give Atlanta the lead. It was both a beautiful dream and a tension-filled nightmare, all wrapped up in one.
Maybe a double play. Got one. Got them both. After 7, we're tied 3-3. Well, it doesn't get any tighter than this. 3-3 into the bottom of the 8th inning. Hunter sends us into the 9th inning, still tied 3 apiece. Ball deflected to Gagne. He gets one and a double play. Now the Twins could win it and tie it with a run in the 9th. Harper to short to Blauser. He got him, and we go into the 10th inning. Runner going. And a line drive double play. Unassisted. Blauser gets him and sends us into the 11th inning. And again, Minnesota can win Game 6 with a little old run. Here's the new pitcher for Atlanta, Charlie Lee Brandt. This is his 2nd year with the Braves, and this is his first relief appearance. One of the big guys for the Twins leads it off in the 11th. Kirby Puckett, he's had a single, a triple, stolen base, run batted in, run scored. He'll be followed by Davis and then Mack. Into deep left center from Mitchell, and we'll see you tomorrow night.
somebody's got a storybook, see? There's a book, and it's on page chapter 6 is over, and now you turn to chapter 7. It's a storybook World Series. What's going to happen tomorrow in Game 7, Chapter 7? Oh, my God, I can't wait. It's going to be something. Can you imagine this going on like this? Unbelievable.
The fabled Game 7 of the World Series and a rematch of the Game 4 starters.
Here's the starting pitcher for Atlanta, number 29, John Schmaltz. Warming up for the Twins, number 47, Jack Morris.
The recognition that this was one of the truly great World Series was not lost on the players, who acknowledged from the start that everyone had won. And to nobody's surprise, a taut, nerve-wracking pitching duel commenced. The scoreboard remained barren as the game moved into the 5th. But against Morris, the Braves fired the first shot, starting with the hero of Games 3 and 4, Mark Lemke.
And another hit for the little guy. That is number 10 for Lemke.
It is a guarantee that Belliard will be bunting on the first pitch.
Belliard had been quietly exceptional throughout the series. And in a game like this, one run could make all the difference.
Play will be to first, and Herbeck takes the throw. Now the Braves want something from their leadoff hitter with Lemke at second and 1 out. Lonnie Smith is flying to right, and he's walked. He bunts. And the play by Pagliarulo, safe. First and third, 1 out. So Lonnie Smith says to Terry Pendleton, you do it.
Of course, it's easier for Pendleton to do it because now there's a runner at third and still only 1 out.
Popped him up for the second out. Shortstop wants it. And has it 2 out. So Pendleton leaves them. I said it the last time he batted. If the Braves are going to win, Ron's going to have to do something. Braves have left 4. Have 2 on, 2 out.
Then with one pitch, a pair of could-have-beens for the Braves.
In the dirt, blocked, the runner halfway, and he is safe. He got back.
One more look at Mike Pagliarulo, the third baseman. Lemke halfway, and he tries to get back. Look at the right knee of Pagliarulo. He drops down, but Lemke is clearly back in there. Good call.
First and third, 2 out, 3 and 2. Lonnie Smith will go. Runner going. Strike.
Well, I made a good pitch on him in a critical situation with the guy at the plate that I respect a tremendous amount. I threw a pretty good fastball and got him froze. And it was just, you know, sometimes you just have to show your emotions, let them go, and I did that at that point.
On to the bottom of the 6th, where this time it was the Twins' turn. Puckett drew a walk, and after Herbeck flied out to Gant, the spotlight was on Chile. With the veteran at the plate, a lot of bad things could happen to Atlanta, but so could one good thing.
To Bream, throws to second, gets one, and gets the return. Folks, this game is going to be decided late.
And so the stage was set for the incredible 8th inning of the 7th game, perhaps the most nail-biting complete inning in the history of the World Series.
It's all pitching here tonight. Jack Morris, John Smoltz, 9 hits total. The longest scoreless start of a 7th game in a World Series. Jack Morris takes it into the 8th. Faces the top of the order. Ronnie Smith, Terry Pendleton, and Ron Gant. That's going to drop, I think it does. And that's the second hit of the night for Lonnie. On base for the 3rd time. Now what do you do with Pendleton, Tim?
Well, there are a lot of ways you can go. You can bunch, you can hit and run, or you can play it straight up.
Well, they went straight up and got 2 quick strikes on Pendleton, who then stayed alive by the skin of the ball.
The ball is in the dirt, says the 3rd base umpire, Terry Tatum. And Pendleton is still alive on the foul tip.
So he foul tipped it, then the ball went in the dirt, and then it skipped into Harper's mitt.
With another swing at his disposal, Pendleton sought to make the most of it.
Pendleton into left center field. That ball is down, and a bad, well, it's off the wall. Lonnie Smith is held up at 3rd, and he didn't do very good base running.
Well, that's what we were told, but it's possible that Smith simply lost the ball. It was a hit and run, or maybe he fell for the decoy by Knobloch and Gagne at 2nd. The fact was, he didn't get thrown out at home. And with runners on 2nd and 3rd with nobody out, you had to think that somebody, anybody, would get him across the plate.
And we still have no score, but it's 2nd and 3rd and nobody out. The infield comes in now as Ron Gant comes up. Little roller, and they'll get an out without a run scored. They got Gant again. He's 0 for 4.
With 1 out now, Morris had to be wondering if Kelly was going to leave him in the game.
At first, Brian Harper came to the mound, and I looked at Brian and said, "He can't be taking me out right now, can he?" He says, no, I don't think so. And when TK came out, he smiled, which he's done several times when he's taken me out. And I just stood there like, I'm going to kill you if you take me out. And all he did was come up to me and say, I think we should walk this guy. He says, what do you think? I said, you're the boss.
Well, the boss called the shot and elected to put Justice on first and pitch to a man with but 3 hits in the series, Sid Bream.
Yeah, come on, buddy.
And the play is to home. Out there. Out there.
It was the biggest play of the series by far, but how could the bottom of the 8th ever top the top? Well, it began when pinch hitter Randy Bush opened the inning against Smokes. had done his job, and now Al Newman came on the run. Gladden popped out after failing to sacrifice, so with one man out, the pressure returned to Knobloch.
About this young Atlanta hurler, Aaron Spoltz. Runner going, base hit. First and third, one out. And who's up? Puckett.
First and third with one out, and Stanton came in for Smoke, who had once again outdone himself.
Well, wasn't this young man terrific? Took the game scoreless into the eighth inning, pitched 7 1/3, no runs, 6 hits, struck out 4, hit 1, walked 1, and gives way to Mike Stanton.
The Braves wanted nothing to do with Puckett.
You talk about brassy for Bobby Cox. I'm telling you, this takes a lot of guts right here. Bobby probably considers one run, you know, that's going to open the floodgate. What one run's going to win it? So he's playing it like the bottom of the ninth instead of the bottom of the eighth.
Al Newman, the runner at third. And Chuck Knobloch down at second, and they walk Kirby Puckett.
Ken Herbeck has struck out 3 times against Mike Stanton. That's why Herbeck doesn't like to face Stanton, but here he is facing him in the most important situation of the series.
And a line drive and a double play sends us into the ninth inning scoreless. So the Braves catch a break.
An amazing inning of World Series baseball had come to a close, and after the Braves went 1-2-3 in the ninth, the Twins began their half with a Chili Davis single and a bunt hit by Harper. It was on the bunt that Stanton, who pitched so admirably throughout the series, was injured, and Pena was called on to get the Braves out of a most difficult situation.
Here's this something. Leadoff single by Chili Davis. A bunt single by Brian Harper. Nobody out in the Twins ninth. Let's see how Shane Mack plays it with 2 on.
One would think these teams had used up their quota of double plays. One would think.
And a ground ball to Lemke. They get 1 and a double play. The runner ends up at third with 2 out.
A strikeout by Paul Sorrento ended the inning. And for the first time in World Series history, 3 games had gone into extra innings. Once again, Morris stymied the Braves in the top half. The bottom half commenced.
We're piling up some records, and here we are, scoreless in the bottom of the 10th with Gladden, the batter against Pena. Broken bat, fly ball's going to drop. He's trying. Save!
A broken bat looper and a decision by Gladden right out of the box had put him on second. Now the strategy was to get him to third. What followed was perhaps the most underrated play of the series, performed to perfection by Knobloch, the rookie.
Knobloch bunts, Pendleton goes to first. Lemke took the throw. There's the winner at third base, 1 out.
The Braves then walked Puckett and, somewhat surprisingly, the slump-ridden Herbeck to load the bases and set up the fourth. On came Gene Larkin, an unlikely hero.
Larkin is the pinch hitter with the bases loaded and 1 out. Minnesota bench hoping to get this winning run across here in the 10th. It's carried by Dan Gladden at third. Pena in a jam. The Twins are going to win the World Series. The Twins have won it. It's a base hit. It's a 1-0 10-inning victory.
For Morris, the Most Valuable Player award, and richly deserved. For both the Minnesota Twins and the Atlanta Braves, the end to a glorious one-year journey from last place to a World Series that was simply the best.
We knew it was 1 in a million. It was such a long shot, but somehow we got here together. And who knows what will happen? Anything can happen. Anything can happen. Anything. If we keep getting better, and we keep on believing. When you put your